The Dallas Cowboys got some smart business done this offseason in locking up CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott for the foreseeable future. However, not having one of the best defensive players in football, if not the best defensive player in football, locked up for all of those years, it has Cowboy fans a little bit worried. So we'll break that down and much more on this episode of Cowboys Digest. Welcome in everybody to Cowboys Digest. I'm your host Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be discussing the Micah Parsons situation, who is expected to test free agency after this year. Now, they still have a club option for next year, which is at around $20-ish million, so he's in line for a hefty pay raise. But you don't want to mess around with a player like that. You want to get him locked up and keep him around for a very long time because he's young, and now you are getting prime value years for very cheap. And the Cowboys got to make the most of it for this season, but I expect them to get a deal done. However, this is the piece of news that came out yesterday. Report: contract talks between the Dallas Cowboys and superstar pass rusher Micah Parsons are expected to be put on hold until after the 2024 season. Parsons is widely expected to become the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, and it feels like every single contract that is given out after the largest contract in history is going to shatter that record. And Micah Parsons deserves it. He's one of the best pass rushers in football. He's one of the more versatile defenders in football. You could line him up at linebacker, at edge rusher, as defensive tackle, and he'll just do a job for you wherever you put him on the line of scrimmage or in the secondary. Wherever it is, he's going to be solid for you. So I wish people, this is the good thing here. Now, Cowboy fans are worried, but if you take a look at this, with the CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott extensions, they're clearing up around $20 to $25 million in cap space. Cowboys have the 12th most cap space going into next year and the 5th most in 2026. The Cowboys can easily afford Micah Parsons. However, a big extension does not equal no money afterwards. Please stop this stupid narrative. Now, a lot of fans just don't know that, so I wouldn't be so quick to call them out, but Micah Parsons is definitely a big one here. You want to try to get this deal done because he's very important to what you do as Dallas Cowboys. So take a look here. Micah Parsons looking at Jerry Jones after Dak and CeeDee got paid. I don't think it's quite that at that level just yet. He expects to get paid, and he was actually on his podcast with in unison with Bleacher Report, and he said, "I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboy for life. There's no doubt about it. It's just all about showing them that I'm the best player I can be and the best person off the field that I can be, and to show them that they need me." Yes, the Cowboys do need Micah Parsons, and it would be a devastating loss to let him go to another team. So I don't think that's really a concern for Micah Parsons. He knows his value and he knows what he brings to the table. But if you go deep in the playoffs this year and you show Jerry Jones and you show Mike Zimmer and Mike McCarthy that you need to have me on this roster, then I think a deal is going to have a lot more urgency surrounding it. And Jerry Jones even said, "I've never seen a guy have his feelings hurt after he got his money," right? So you could have all these standoffs in the media and you can be talking crap about one another and the two sides could be at a stalemate. But once the money is shown, then the money is shown and you got your bag and you can sit down and basically just play, right? You don't have to worry about any of that stuff going around. So yeah, I don't think we're quite at this point yet, but you don't want to get there if you're Jerry Jones, which is why I included that screenshot right there. And this is what Micah Parsons had to say. "For me, I just want to prove to the front office that I'm the best player and I can do it consistently at an all-time high," Parsons said on Overtime. "I think I've been doing that pretty much, but I really want to prove my value. I want to get Jerry Jones a couple of wins. I kind of just want to maximize my value so that they see what we've got to keep this guy. And this guy is great in the locker room, and he wants to be a part of this team, and he cares about winning." So those quotes to me are pretty telling that Micah Parsons wants to remain a Cowboy for the foreseeable future. I don't have any doubt, but a lot of fans are worried that he hasn't signed the extension as of yet, and I could see why. I could see why that's worrying to a lot of Cowboy fans. But he goes on to say this: in his first game playing under new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer, Parsons looked at home all over the front. The pass rusher mostly played from the edge, 52 snaps, but also lined up as a defensive tackle on 9 plays and inside linebacker for 2. That multiplicity and freedom under Zimmer is exciting Parsons. And this is what Parsons had to say about the addition of Mike Zimmer. I really like it because Mike just gave me that free will, the Cowboys star said. It's also the discipline factor of he's making other people learn different positions too, and we practiced it in camp, which allows me to do this. It starts with the simple factor of me wanting to do it and Mike creating ideas for me to do it. He allows me to just to range and go over the guard. Sometimes he don't even call it. Sometimes just like, I trust you to do what you want. He calls a front. He's like, you said it. You make it. You get the guys lined up. He's given me this free will to say, hey, if they're coming out in this formation, you do that and you can go in there. He's given me a lot of free reign that I feel I haven't had over the last couple of years. And the fact that we've kind of got this trust factor, I really like it a lot. So it seems that Micah Parsons, the early returns on Mike Zimmer are great. Like that performance against Cleveland was dominant all across the board. And it wasn't just Micah Parsons. It was Eric Kendricks chipping in with a couple of sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence as well. Kendricks also picking up that interception after the tip ball by Micah Parsons. So there's been great camaraderie on this defense in years past, but maybe the schemes weren't there and they weren't executed properly. So I love Dan Quinn in his time here, but maybe he just didn't have the pieces. Now, Mike Zimmer had a clear plan in place when he got to the Cowboys. Said, we're going to do it this way. We're going to do it my way. We're going to bring in my guys, and we're going to make sure that this thing works out. Because after giving up 48 points to the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs, some changes had to be made, and I don't think that was all on Dan Quinn, but no adjustments were made in that game. So they were just letting Green Bay run right through them. They were letting them air the ball out and get whatever they wanted in the secondary. And I think this year is going to be a little bit different on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, you're going to make your bones in the playoffs. You're going to create legacies in the playoffs, and that's where the money is going to be made for the Dallas Cowboys, because they've never had a problem being good in the regular season. It's always been about the postseason and getting it done there. And I believe having a motivated Micah Parsons who can show off his versatility, show off that speed as an edge rusher, as a linebacker, as a defensive tackle, wherever you want to line him up, he is going to show his full value for Mike Zimmer and the rest of the Cowboys coaching staff. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of Cowboys Digest. Thank you guys so much for making it this far. Really appreciate the support that we've gotten. And make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Give me your thoughts on the Micah Parsons contract situation. Are you worried, or is it a little bit too early to sound the alarm bells? But that'll wrap it up. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.